What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel if you're a returning subscriber, and if you're new,
What's up?
in today's video I'm coming to you guys with my May and June wrap up. As you guys know, I didn't record an individual video in May. Also, I didn't read a lot of books. In total, I think I read about 9 books as far as like May and June combined, so I figured I could just do it in one whole video. So if you guys are new to the channel, pretty much how I do my wrap-ups is I try to put them in order based off of the rating that I gave them. So again, we'll start from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so forth. And also I've included this theme because if you guys don't know, the girl kind of calls herself the DNF queen, where like if I'm not feeling a book, I definitely will DNF it and keep on moving with my life. So I also try to like incorporate a section like at the very beginning of the video where I talk about the DNFs, and then I go into the like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth. So with all that being said, let's just go ahead and hop right into the video. So you guys, I told you guys in the beginning, I'm going to start off with my DNFs first, and I try to do them in order. So pretty much in May, I ended up DNFing 1 book, and then in June, I ended up DNFing 3 books, literally back to back to back. So that was an interesting time, let me tell you that much. But so yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and hop to the first book that I DNF'd, which was in May. And it was Against the Tide. It was A Little Mermaid by Miss J.L. But Against the Tide is like the Little Mermaid book, okay? I'm not gonna cap. I got this book specifically because I love the cover. That is it. That is all. And I try to literally hype myself up thinking that I really just wanted to read this book, when in fact I did not care to read this book at any moment in time. I just simply got it because I love Halle Bailey. And so I saw it and I was like, oh, it's Halle Bailey as the Little Mermaid, and so therefore I got it. And then I did try reading it. I read like all the way up until, girl, you know I didn't like a book when I just stopped in the middle of a book. Like, I didn't stop or end at the chapter. I stopped like dead smack in the middle of a chapter. That's when you know I really wasn't feeling it. And I realized, because the thing about it is, I don't really know much about the Little Mermaid. I never cared about the Little Mermaid when I was a kid. And to be truly honest, if it wasn't Halle Bailey, because again, I like Halle Bailey being the Little Mermaid, I wouldn't have cared about the Little Mermaid being like a new home movie thing. It's simply because I like Halle Bailey. Honestly, truly, that's it. It's nothing, like I just don't care for the Little Mermaid, don't know her storyline. And so I guess with this book, it really is just tapping into the already created storyline of the Little Mermaid, and because I don't know it, nor do I care for it, I just really didn't care for the book. I simply just wanted it because I wanted to have it faced out on my bookshelf. Okay, so that's pretty much why I got it and why it's been DNF'd. I just never really care about the storyline, so that's pretty much it. Okay, but other than that, I mean, the cover is looking cute and like it feels so velvety. I love the feel, I love the color. It's cute. It's a cute looking book, let me just say that. So the first book I DNF'd again was Against the Tide, The Little Mermaid. The next book, which is very shocking to me, just because of how much this book is hyped on booktube, booktok, bookstagram, whatever you can think of, it's hyped and people love it and they love the series. I read it. I think I read it actually on my Kindle. I do have the physical copy because I've had this book like for over a year and I still had never read it. But I ended up getting the book on my Kindle just because, again, I feel like I read faster on my Kindle. And when I say again, I mean, I just recorded my previous video, the mid-year challenge thing. So that's why I'm talking as if I just talked to you guys, which I did, because again, I'm really sitting in the same outfit. So yeah, if you're confused as to why I'm talking like I've been talking to y'all, that's why. But I was just not feeling that book. I just didn't like the premise of it. Like, I just don't feel like I should have to read 75% of the book for it to then start getting good. And that's what I heard like a lot of people were mentioning about this book. But let me stop talking around it and just show you guys the book. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I just don't think that it's fair. I have to read this much for this much to be the part that's good. That's not going to work for me, because baby, I didn't pay for this much to be good. I didn't pay this much, okay? You feel me? That's just how I feel. I just it was so slow. Like I told some people in my comments, I was fighting for my life trying to read this book. It was so slow. It's so slow. And so many people was like, yeah, it's like slow in the beginning and all that stuff, but once you get to like 75% of it, it's gonna get good. And then the other books in the series are really good. And it's just like, but you kind of have to get your audience there. Like I really genuinely feel if it wasn't hyped up, like it had to be like this one person who was like hyping this book up to be like the best, and people just thugged it out and kept going. But my thing is this, you gotta give me something. You gotta give me something. My attention span is very it's tiny. I can't deal. And I read a good amount. I mean, again, I read it on my Kindle, so I don't know. I had to be like past the 100-page mark, but it was just slow. And I was trying to figure out why would I even care about these characters? Why would I care about Farah? But I don't even know her name, girl. It was just doing a little too much. And the gag is that I bought the other 2 books in this series, and the gag is that your girl missed the deadline of Returnal. I literally read this and I was like, I'm not enjoying this. I kind of don't want this. Of course, I couldn't return this because again, I had this for like a whole year. But I had the other 2 books that I had purchased, like I think in May or June. And girl, I went to Amazon and I was 2 days late. 2 days late to return those other 2 books to get my money back. So I'm stuck with 3 books in this series, and I already don't like the first one. I didn't finish it. I DNF'd it, and who knows when I'll hop back into it, and either I hop back into it and actually enjoy it and hop into the other books, or I sell the whole entire series that I have. Pretty much is what it's looking like. But too slow, don't have time, attention span too short, I can't deal. Next book that I ended up DNFing, this might be a shocker, and I might hop into this. I might hop back into this, but it just wasn't hitting for what I thought it was gonna hit for. Well, let me not say that. It was in the beginning, but it was just something that happened that really triggered me, and therefore made me not want to read it anymore, and which I didn't continue. I didn't even finish the first chapter because it happened in the first chapter, but it was 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Again, if you pay attention to my communities tab, I told you guys I was currently reading this, and baby, it didn't last a couple of pages before I put this book down and DNF'd because something just happened in there that triggered me, and I don't want to get into too much detail, but I just didn't like it, and so therefore I DNF'd it. Would I hop back into it? Maybe. I'm just afraid that the thing is going to keep appearing in the book. It's going to keep happening. I can tell, and I'm going to be pissed, and I'm not going to like it. So, yeah, but we'll see if I, hop back into that one. Not anytime soon, but one day, eventually. And then the next book, or the last book actually, because I ended up DNFing 4 books in the total span of May and June, is going to be Scythe by... I forgot the author's name, but I'll have the picture here just because I do not have the physical copy. I ended up reading that one in time to understand that I really just didn't care about that book. And so then I went to Amazon and I beat the deadline so I could return it and get my money back. So that's why I don't have the physical copy, because I returned it because I just didn't care for it. Which I was really sad about because a booktuber that I really like watching mentioned how much she loved the series. So that's where I really got the first book to see and see if I would like it, because the storyline seemed interesting, like how there's no diseases no more, or like nobody pretty much can die, but then they have these scythes that go around killing or gleaning. Is that what they call it? Gleaning? They don't like to call it killing. Basically so they can control the population, and so that he takes under these 2 apprentices, Citra and Rowan, so they can apprentice under him and learn the trade of gleaning and being a scythe. And basically at the end of it, one of them will actually be able to become a scythe, and in a way they don't want to become one, but at the same time they're looking at the perks, and which is really their whole entire family would be like immune from ever being gleaned or stuff like that. So I mean, it sounded interesting, but again, I just didn't, like, at moments I was caring. I cared more like when it was certain chapters where it was talking about where some of these sites were coming in and doing mass gleanings, like going into a whole mall and just like, or the whole entire plane they gleaned. And so I was like, maybe this is like a whole thing where it's some site that's like going rogue, doing some stuff they not supposed to be doing. Because I could have swore they was only able to do gleanings, one person at a time, I thought. But I guess it was like common. for Scythe to do like a group thing, like just go on a plane and choose the entire plane to glean. I don't know, but I thought it was like some rogue stuff going on with the Scythe and stuff. But I was just kind of under the impression that I just didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about Citra. I didn't care about Rowan. They were boring. Like, to be truly honest, they were boring characters. I think if they were more interesting characters, then maybe, you know, I would have tried to stuck with it. But they were just boring to me. So I ended up DNFing it. So yeah. So all that being said, we got that out the way. Now we're going to hop into the books that I actually did read. And again, I'm putting them in order from, again, 1 star to 5 stars. So let's go ahead and jump into the wrap up. The first book that I ended up finishing would be, well, it's not the first book that I read, but this is going to be the first book that I talked to you guys about because it got the lowest rating out of all the books. This comes in at a 3 star. Honestly, I'm being generous. I'm trying to think, should I knock this down to a 2? Yeah, that's being generous. Honestly, it wasn't a 3 star. I'm going to knock it down to a 2. And that was Ladies on Top. This was the first volume in the manga. Pretty much it's about this girl, Mizuki, who she looks like an ordinary office lady, but you know, she is pretty much like an erotic type of manga, really. And it's between these two characters where it's very different, where, you know, usually the guy is the one who's like the dominant one in the bedroom and stuff like that, but we learned that these two characters, that in actuality she likes to be the dominant one, and then she ends up being with this guy who ends up liking to be the submissive one. But it's very complicated between the two because, again, it's not social norms and stuff, so they're kind of like, he doesn't really want to come out and say that he wants to be submissive to her, and she doesn't want to come out and say that she wants to be dominant to him. And so it was just very, like, I don't even know what the hell was really going on. Like, it just seemed like that was like the plot of the first volume, and it was boring. Like, it wasn't nothing, you know, juicy, even though this was an erotic book. Like, it wasn't no freaky nothing like that, but it was just like, okay, you like to be submissive, you like to be dominant, just say it. Like, let's communicate this, let's get it on, let's get it popping. But they were just so, like, very timid to talk about the subject. And that's pretty much what the first volume consisted of, and I just don't think it was worth its money. It was like $14. Girl, don't judge me. Again, I missed the timeline to return this. Okay, I don't want to talk about it. Please. But manga, if you know about manga, manga is expensive, but I just don't think this was worth the money. Like, I have manga series that, you know, might be $10, $12, $14 maybe, and they were worth the money, or I liked it and enjoyed the series, but this one just was not it. So Ladies on Top volume 1 comes in at 2 stars. Okay, so the next book that I have for you guys is gonna be The Inheritance Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I'm pretty sure all you guys know about this book. It's a popular series. I think the 4th and final book of the series is coming out this year, and it's very highly anticipated by a lot of people, so you guys know about the book, okay? I read it, and I gave it 3 stars. Why? I'm trying to think, is it 3 stars or 3.5? At the end of the day, it might be, I say 3.5. I think I do 3.5. Reason why is because I did not like the ending. I felt like it was all building up very, very good. The story was fine. I know it's supposed to be like a love triangle between the three. It was entertaining. It was just that ending I didn't like. I didn't like how the story pretty much made it seem like, oh, it was just all a big coincidence on why she was the one written in this will to get this damn money from this dude she didn't even know. Like, it was just a whole matter of her being a little girl at a diner and him, like, being intrigued by her name. And, like, again, I read this, like, in May. But I just didn't feel like that was a good enough reasoning. And I was hoping maybe it might be even something more in the other two. And I do have the other two in the series. So maybe it is. Maybe it's just something about me needing to have to continue reading on. And they just left you on some half-ass bullshit reasoning when it's really something more. Hopefully that is the case, but it kind of scared me to the point that I didn't hop into the other book in the series, just because if it wasn't the case and this was actually the reason why she was left that money, then I think that was a lame freaking excuse. Like, that was so boring and I just didn't care for it. I like it, so that's why The Inheritance Game comes in at 3.5 stars. The next book that I have is going to be The Deal by L. Kennedy. This comes in at 3.75. Honestly, I liked it. I enjoyed myself. I don't know why. I just feel very icky or scared to give it a 4 stars, so that's why it's like a 3.75. But it was good. I felt like, now I'm trying to think, should I slide it up? Should it go higher than this? Because I did enjoy myself, and I did buy the next book in the series. And I love like the side things about the characters. Like for me, Hannah being in part of like so she did like performing arts in college and stuff, and which I really enjoy reading about, considering that you guys don't know, but I was like in orchestra all the way up into high school. And so like, guess you could say I was around like the performing arts aspect of the, obviously because orchestra, but like as far as like, you know, the singers and the chorus and all that stuff. So getting that storyline with her, and then her bandmate, or not her bandmate, but her duet partner, can I stand him? Or just the whole thing with her, and then what was her name? What's her name? Mary Jan, who was the pianist who wrote the song that she had to sing for her winter concert. Girl, that whole drama had me rolling. I loved it. I love the side drama. I loved it, and I did in a way. Garrett, like his whole thing with his dad, like that scene, like I felt like the more that I read it and got closer to like the middle and end, the more that I really enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed it in the beginning, but I think it just got better as I read more of it. So it's borderline 3.75, 4 stars. It's borderline one of those, honestly, truly. Yeah, but it don't say 3.75 for right now. It might go higher, just because I'm thinking about how much I really did enjoy it, and especially when I got closer to the middle and end, it just got better. So yeah. So again, The Deal by L. Kennedy. The next book that I had that I also had at 3.75 is going to be none other than, and again I have to put the picture here because I don't have the actual physical book, but it is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Is that her name? R.F. Kuang, yes. Yellowface. I read that on my Kindle, and again, I think that is also borderline 3.75, 4 stars as well. Both of them are like borderline in that, because I had a fun time. That ending kind of confused me, and I don't know if it was because, well, you know what, I might keep it at 3.75. Let me explain why. The only reason I'm going to keep it at 3.75 because I think when you really enjoy a book or you love a book, you don't want it to end. I found myself while reading Yellowface kind of waiting for me to like hurry up and get to the ending of this book and hurry for it to be done. So that's why I don't want to put it at a 4 star, because I feel like a 4 star, I don't want it to end. I kind of want it to keep going, but I was kind of like, okay, when are we done with this? Like I was constantly looking at the percentage on my Kindle, like how long do I have of this book? Because it was, and one of the complaints I saw, or the remarks of the book, is that it was kind of like repeating itself, and in a way it kind of was with what was her name, Juniper Song. Like she was really just doing the freaking most. Okay, I just cannot stand her, which I think was a good thing because you're not supposed to like her, but it definitely opens your mind up to think about things and stuff like that as far as like the writing world goes. And so I enjoyed it. I did, but I was just really ready for it to be like done at some point. And also the ending, I kind of just felt like, what? Like it felt like it left the door open for it to possibly be another book dealing with these characters. That's what I feel like. I don't know if it was just me, or maybe I would just be hallucinating because I wanted to hurry up and finish this damn book. And sometimes, you know, you get your minds go a little blank, and you reading, but you're not really interpreting what you're reading. So it could have also been that as well, but I don't know. But that's why Yellowface by R.F. Kuang is coming in at 3.75. Next books that are coming at 4 stars. The first one I want to talk about is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I gave this 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I felt like it was a quick read. Again, this was like my first ever like type of fantasy type read, to be truly honest. This was it. This was the first one. So yeah, I think it was a very nice intro to it. And I did get the other 2 books in the series, so best believe I'm going to be reading those soon, especially because you guys saw my video of the books that I'm very highly anticipating wanting to read this year in my mid-year challenge video. I talked about Legendary and Finale because I want to hop into her other series, which is also set in this world of Caraval. So yeah, I gave it 4 stars. Entertaining. I do want to read the other 2. I will most likely read them by the end of this year. So yeah. The next book that comes in with 4 stars is going to be Hooked by Emily McIntyre. I had a fun time. For someone who did not know, I've never ever watched Peter Pan or Captain Hook. Like, I didn't know their storyline, to be truly honest with you. I'm gonna be very honest with you, like majority of Emily McIntyre's like Never After series, I don't know like I'm about to say cartoon, but I don't know the storyline of like those stories. Pretty much, like, you know, being with Peter Pan, you had one with the Lion King, you had another one with Aladdin, you have one with the Wizard of Oz. I know Aladdin. I watched that movie like quite a few times when I was young. I never watched the Lion King. Y'all gonna roast me, but I've never watched that. So never watched the Lion King. Never really watched anything with Peter Pan. I only watched the Wizard of Oz, the one with Michael Jackson and Diana Ross, but that was like once. I don't even think I watched the whole damn thing. I was a kid when I was playing it. I don't know. I don't think no kid is really begging to watch the Wizard of Oz, if I'm being honest. So you get what I'm saying? Like, I really never read the stories that she did retellings of or reimaginings of. But I can say for the most part, for me not to really know a lot about Peter Pan and stuff, I really enjoyed this. It was really, really good. The smut scenes were, they were spicy, let me tell you that much. But I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Comes in at 4 stars. The next book that I have comes in at 4.75, and it is none other than In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune. Okay, this is coming in again at 4.75. Why I say it like that, like I'm saying a phone number. 4.75. I love this book. The only reason I did not give it 5 stars is because the ending. I didn't really like the ending. I don't think it was like a happy ending. I'm still sad. Like, I mean, I'm not sad because at the end of the day, you know, Vic, he gets everyone, you know, he gets everyone, but it's not what I was hoping for, and that's pretty much why it comes in at a 4.75. But other than that, I loved it, and it has a lot because I realized with T.J. Klune's work, he loves to do a good 12-13 pages in a chapter, and y'all know I do not like long chapters. I don't like that. That is like very annoying to me. I just don't. I like short chapters, but he has long chapters, like 10 pages in a chapter, and girl, whew, I'll be struggling. But that says a lot, I feel like, that how much I like his work, because I don't like long chapters, and I continued reading on. So again, In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune comes in at 4.75. But anyways, the next book that I'm coming to you guys with is going to be 5 stars, and one of them is going to be the manga volume 3 of Demon Slayer. 5 stars. I mean, is it really a lot I need to say about this? I mean, it's Demon Slayer. It's Demon Slayer. Not a lot to say. I mean, it's not a lot to say, especially because it's not like volume 1, it's volume 3. So you kind of want to read volume 1 and 2 to understand what's going on in volume 3. So I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah. And then last but not least, the last book that I have that is a 5-star read. Again, if you guys watch my mid-year book tag, you guys will know this book because I literally talked about that book so many times in that video. But it's gonna be Scarred by Emily McIntyre. I really enjoyed this book very, very much. 5-star read. Again, this is the one that's about the reimagining of The Lion King, and even though I never watched the movie, I love this book. Again, I found that I really love like the royal setting and romances and erotic like books. I just love it. It just 10 out of 10 would recommend. Okay, it was so good. The plot twist was definitely a plot twist. I wasn't expecting that to happen between the waiting lady, or what's it called, the lady in waiting to Sarah, and all that. Was not expecting, and I love the ending. I really did, and it just seemed very realistic. It didn't seem forced like a lot of romance novels will do, like just, oh, they have to be together because it's these 2 characters that are the main characters in this romance story. But it really just made sense, and I just really enjoyed it. I loved it so much. So yes, Scarred by Emily McIntyre. And you guys, that is it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and also make sure you turn on your notification bell so you're notified with every video I upload. This was my May and June wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed and you saw some books maybe that you might want to read because I gave like 5 stars, 4 stars, you know. But all that being said, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.